Back again, back again. So a nice bit of rain came through there, washed my car. Had this horrible sort of sticky residue from this tree all over my car. But that's got it off. So that's a bonus. It's a minimal gear today. Got some leftover lug in there. Still in good condition. And we're trying something slightly different reel on today. Different reel, something a bit easier to use. So I'll show you the rig when it comes in. I'll show you what it is. It's a bit of an experiment. I think it's going to work. It's these green and black beads. Where are they? Green and black beads. Where are they? Here they are. Yeah, these beads there. And I've got a little MEPS sort of spinner thing. I'll put that on there as well to a size 1. Straight lug on that, and it's just, and we've got a watch lead on. We've got a watch lead, so it's holding out pretty well at the minute. Tide's coming in. I don't think it's a huge tide today. If anything, that ain't even moved. So I could, the watch lead don't actually cast very well. But it's got these little sort of grooves on it, and that'll just stick to the seabed, and if there's a bit of current there it will slowly sort of, but it's not moving, so I could actually put on a different lead which will ping out a lot further, so I might try that. What's confusing me is the line was sort of more at an angle here a minute ago, now it's coming the other way, so it's flooding, so I know when it floods it's coming flooding in this way, so I should drag my gear around. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to search for these fish because it is a bit quiet at the minute because it's clear, it's calm, things like that. But with that metal spinner on it and those beads, you could, there's no fish bait on it. You could get a turbot like that, but a place or a flounder or a dab or something like that is your usual suspects. But you don't get many place here. You could get one today. You could. You might try a slightly different lead, so a rolling lead, they'll just keep tumbling and tumbling and tumbling and tumbling and tumbling around. This watch lead, that's holding stationary, look. I don't think what it's doing. What it's doing. Confusing me. It's not moving. Pretty much stayed where I casted it. What you can do with this rig as well, you can just wind it in a little bit like this, just like I'm doing, just as slow as that, just moving it a little bit, see if that'll get a take. Just wind it in a little bit. Yeah, let's see what my tip's doing now. Is there anyone there? Incoming tide, that wouldn't surprise me. With flounder bites, you get a real good kick on it. It's not braid, that's mono, but you still get a real good, lets you know, and they woof it down. There's no panic about taking it straight away. Sorry, winding it in straight away. So once you get the first few kicks, they actually always are right down his throat. The longer you leave it, the harder it'll be to get the hook out. But you could be a little bass. Little bass grabbed it. Oh, steel, look at this steel, look. The stones have all sharpened this steel, look. Fucking hell. Unbelievable, isn't it? You wouldn't sit on this, would you? Look at that. Bit of steel there, look. Stones. Force of the waves, look, bang, 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 bang. Incredible. So it's definitely coming in, because this bay was empty. It's now sort of spewing in. We'll be back up there in a little while. So we'll just wind it in a little bit and have a look. So this is the rig, look. Alright, beads, hook down there. Give that a go, shall we? Experiment this week, so I don't really know which is the thing for it. Quite a way. Amazing how it's when you've got those spikes on, you can go cast a lot further. That now, that's just going to drift and drag round. It's just the further out you cast, the more that's going to be. But there's not a lot of weed about, so we'll let it drag right round. That's out there somewhere. Let it go right round, almost in line with these groins over here to see. We're just going to try and search for them, because on the internet they're saying, people are saying that they're fishing and they're just getting a few little weaver fish and just bits, nothing's really happening or nothing. So it's all gone all clear, you see. All these early southerly winds have cleared it all out, and usually this place fishes a lot better when it's mucky, you see. So I think you've got to be at range night time. It's cloudy over there, raining over there. It's very clear indeed. That'll just drift. Should drift a bit. Should do anyway. It's not a lot of tide going at the minute. It's coming in. Put the watch lid back on if it's sort of so I can sort of there's quite a way over there. Good cast. See if there's a fish there. Sure there'll be something. Got a line left. Push me back up here. Expecting a flounder, I'd say, today. Could get a place. Quiet at the minute. Right. So he sort of waded out, got a little bit of a splash and didn't go where I wanted it to go, but that's out there. out there. Just a plain lead on its own. It's not spooning around too much. Waiting for that first bite. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Clear as anything. Clear as you like. Hate it when I get wet. Oh, pulls my head in. Plenty of power in this rod. Tons of power. She's out there. Clear enough. For the minute it's like a trawler's gone through and scooped everything up. It's difficult when it goes settled and clear like this. I've got that bling on there and I was hoping that's just sort of gonna, but then again we're sort of mid-tide coming in, which is never, you know, if you're here on the right day it don't make any difference, but if you're not here on the right day then usually the fish will, if they're going to come, they'll just come at a certain little sector of the tide. So we shall see, we shall see. They normally announce their arrival. I thought there was a little something going on, look. Unbelievable. Okay. Okay. Beautiful spot. It is. Notice there's one basslet. One little basslet. Very hard to detect at range, very hard indeed. Well, I felt there was a little something going on. You're just getting a very slight buffering of wind as well. quiet, that's for sure. Bass at range. It's June. Yeah. There's nothing sort of saying that you couldn't get a real decent one still. Just out of the blue. Do 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 do. Oh, so quiet. Right. Get him to snap off. Oh well, it's like that sometimes. Water's coming in. So a long way out with this. Really good cast. And it's dragging around a little bit, but I'm not too concerned. Not too concerned. On it. Tide should start to ease in the next hour or so. Hopefully that'll pull into a flatfish. So just one little basslet so far. Little basslets so far. Nothing crazy happening. It's nice and high. It's a lot muckier now, the water. It was clear earlier on. It can only be a positive thing. Churned up, the flood sort of churned it up a little bit. Good. Which is good. We just need... So it'll be a flatty. It'll be a bass or a flatty, I reckon, on that bait. It's quiet. We have a weaver. We have a weaver. There, look. That spike there, look. That's what'll That'll get you good, that. Okay. Look at that for a cloud. Can't hear any thunder in it. There's another one coming over here, look. This way, look. Over there, look. That's funny because sometimes you get a clear sky, just a bit of grey cloud or white cloud, and it starts raining. And you think, well, why on earth is it raining? And then you look at these clouds here, and these ones here, and I hadn't even felt a drop of rain. It's insane. Let's tighten it up a little bit. So it's just above those timbers there, just by an inch or two. Skating about, that's all right. It certainly ain't worth getting struck by lightning over, that's for sure. For fishing in, anyway. If it was one bass, one £5 bass after the next, I'd take a chance on it probably. But when it's just a tiny little microscopic bass and a weaver fish, I certainly wouldn't. I think there is a bit of thunder in there, you know. Just hear a faint grumble, unless it's the waves on the. Anyway, quite dramatic sort of clouds. Yeah. Well, we had a flounder here a couple of days ago on the ebb. The water's gone a bit muckier, but there's nothing. Nothing sort of presented itself. Not quite high water yet. What a shame. This is the only other problem. You get this sort of weather coming through, look, and it just sort of, that's just saying to myself, this has been absolutely crap really. Little bass and a little weaver. They look quite good out there, but it's just, I read online that there weren't a lot happening, but I got some leftover bait, so I just thought I'd give it a go. You have to give it a go, don't you? But that's probably about 45 towards high. You never know. You never know. Small hooks. Yeah, they might just suddenly sort of turn up, but it's one of those sort of few tides when word gets around on the internet that there ain't really a lot happening, and you still got a bit of bait in the fridge, and you just think, oh shit, well I'll go anyway, so to speak. So that's it in a nutshell, really. Yeah, I was just wondering why this has been bent over. Look. How do you reckon that's been bent over? Look at that, some force has done that. The only thing I could think of was there was some timbers attached to it, because they're snapped off there. When there were some really monstrous seas here, the timbers have been wiggling and wiggling and wiggling in a big sea. Big tide, big sea, big storm surge, and that's just ripped it and bent it. That's the only thing I can think of. You wouldn't believe it, would you? That's a 210 gram lead, and that's going miles. I mean, my technique isn't that honed at all, but in these conditions, when there isn't a lot of wind, and I've got sort of half an idea, I'm getting at miles, absolutely miles. I mean, Christ, you should get flatfish just 20-30 yards out, really, when it's on fire here. They come in ever so close, but because we're just not getting any bites or anything, I'm just gone distance, and I picked up a bass like that, and I picked up a bloody weaver. I've even got a rolling lead on, and the rolling lead, the 210 gram, that ain't really moving round anymore because the tide's eased off. But a couple of hours ago it was moving round. I probably should have put on a lighter lead, but then your distance goes, you see. There's some Flounder or something. Blue over there. Too bad. That's the trouble, you see. It's like fishing. Not only are we getting sort of, we're battling with the, you know, the fish not playing ball. There's bait to use up, but then when you get dealt one of these, you start to think, well, that ain't going to take a lot to boff the session on the head. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like if the fishing was red hot, you'd be like, yeah, I couldn't care less whatever happens, if I get drenched or whatever, I couldn't care less. But when it's sort of sitting on the fence, you're like, there's one of the chap fishing down there. But I don't really know what else in these sort of situations, what is actually physically going to turn up with fishing with that lug. It's only going to be a flounder, I can see it. But I didn't even know I had the bass on. Saw a couple of taps, but that was a bit windier then. Weaver fish, I didn't know he had on, but that had the weaver when the lead was dragging round, and there was a bit of weed showing. But last cast there wasn't so much weed, but that points towards we're getting near the top of the tide, and the tide just eases off, and I'm hoping this is when we're going to get a few fish. We had a flatfish here on the ebb, well, about mid-tide down, I'd say it was, when we had that. It'd been going down for 2 or 3 hours, something like that. That was a good strong bite, that was. But all you can do like this is just keep sort of fishing over a time you've targeted, and then change the bait. There's something to happen. I just want something to happen. For a second rod's handy if you've got some different baits to put on. One with a worm bait and one with a bit of fish, or a bit of squid or something like that. So you're mixing it up, or one with a bit of a crab. But I just like fishing one rod, I do. The car's a long way away, you see, so I don't really like carrying a lot of gear, because that just pisses me off. I used to come down with like a beach buddy, a lantern, 2 rods, tripod, food, drink, bait, squid, everything, seat box, everything. And I used to sort of, Christ almighty, to walk any great distances was hard, but you could do it when you're in your early 20s. You could do it, there's no problem at all. You'd be a bit knackered when you got to your end spot, but you know, but those days are gone. Those days are gone. But realistically, when it's flat calm like this, bass are out of the equation, so you can forget that side of things. So then your default is really either smooth hound when it's like this, or flatfish. And I'm fishing lug, and I'm not being funny, I had a really good session a few years back, and that was all on lug. I had about 10 of them, smooth hound. They weren't huge, they're all just picking up lug. There was just a lot of fish about. So just because you're fishing lug, don't mean you rule out a smooth hound. But you should really fish the crab if you're going to go for a smooth hound. If you're fishing with a crab, a hardback or a peeler, when it's flat calm like this, you know, it's really just going to be a smooth hound. You could attach just another hook above and just have lug on like a 1/0 or size 1. That's a little nod there or something. And It's just me imagining things. Nothing very eventful anyway. And then a smooth hound will grab the crab underneath. Or like half a crab or something like that. I find you got to really sort of target them really, if you're going to go for it. And you want to be fishing somewhere fairly close to rough ground. Bit of sand and gravel next to some rough ground really, in my eyes. Night time. What's going on with this? A little bit of weed wrapping around it. The weed. Yes. Oh, it's better than sitting at home, that's for sure. God, it's slow. Really, really slow. I'm gonna have to change the bait, I think. Finally. Finally. That's a little one, isn't it? Where's the other hook gone? Here. Oh, he's down deep. So it's a flounder. Tiny little flounder. See, look up there, look, that's where all that cloud was, that storm there, look. And look now, I wondered if there was some of that. Unbelievable. I didn't think it was too bad on windy, but it does put a little bit of doubt in your mind. So we've had a bass, a weaver and a small flounder, so it's coming along. I would say that's about, what's the time? That probably came quarter of an hour ago. God knows how long it was on there for. Yeah, nearly high water. Another 45, another about 20 minutes or so. 15-20 minutes will be high water. So another blistering cast. Just what a real good rate. We had a nice one a couple of days ago, a real chunky one. Wasn't a huge fish, but boy was he chunky. Plenty of meat on him. So I've just gotta keep chugging away. Chugging away. Pendulum cast working all right. People over there. Real monster bites though. Come on, fish.